Jai Baba. Well, how did we get into painting Baba, Phyllis?
We were painting the figure exclusively.
Phyllis and I were both painting, and we were both searching through painting, I think. And I think that when Phyllis and I got together, got married, we began to search more intensely than we had ever searched before, and painting was part of that search. But we were also exploring a great many directions, trying to find Baba, what turned out to be our search for Baba. You never know that you were searching for Baba until you have found him. And Phyllis and I had been painting for many years, both of us, both before we met each other, and we continued to paint after we were married. And my painting had gone through many different stages of development. And I had begun to feel that any contribution that I would make in painting would not be a stylistic contribution, which is the kind of contribution that is made by most painters in the 20th century. It's stylistic. There is a stylistic emphasis in painting today. But I began to feel more and more that I would be able to realize myself as a painter through subject matter, and I was beginning to search intensely for the right subject matter to paint. And of course, when I met Baba, Baba revealed himself as the subject matter in all subject matter, the source and substance of all. And it just became more and more natural for me to paint only Baba, because I was looking for something to paint. I knew that there was something particular that I had to paint. And it became clear to me after meeting Baba in 1965 with Phyllis that this was going to be my work, that this is what Baba wanted me to do.
Can I say something?
Yes,
too?
go ahead.
Well, I think you ought to mention the fact that your eyesight was deteriorating, so that Francis Brabazon talks about modern man pointing out to modern woman an empty landscape and giving her modern empty language with which to converse in his own jargon. And your landscape was empty before Baba came into the picture. And my job was becoming increasingly delicate, because you were depending on my honesty to point out what was in the landscape. And I'm talking about the actual landscape of crossing the country, or if we went to visit an interior of a house, any place. You were depending more and more on my honesty. And when Baba gave me the job of accompanying you to India, to bring you to him, to see his face, he said, I want Lyn to come to me. I will show him my face as it really is. Baba provided for you the whole world to paint. The scale of these paintings, which is human, and when you rarely paint Baba larger than human size, right?
A little larger than human, a little larger than life size. Almost all of the paintings of Baba that I do.
But the paintings are monumental. They are epic, even though they are man size, and they are.
They look man size, but they're slightly over life size.
How did this draw you eventually to Baba, or what happened?
Well, that's really a long story of how we got drawn to Baba, and I really
So
don't think
long, yeah.
it takes
It would be
takes too much time to
a
tell.
lot of conversation about who is God and what is love and all of that.
I know
it would be very
you
heavy.
paint exclusively Baba.
Yes.
That's
So what made you decide to paint Baba exclusively?
Well, when I was with Baba, I was talking to Baba about painting. Baba wanted me to talk to him about painting, and so I said to Baba at one point, I said, "Baba, isn't that ego?" Referring to painting, my painting. And Baba said, "What you do for Baba is not ego." And I think that freed me to go ahead in my work. And it also directed my consciousness towards the fact that painting, to be real art, which is without ego, would have to be for Baba. Baba told me that. But the only way I could be an artist was to paint for Baba. And the question how to paint for Baba began to overshadow my work to such an extent that I would always be asking myself, am I painting for Baba, or am I painting for myself, or am I painting partly for Baba and partly for myself? And finally, in order to resolve this question of painting for Baba, it became clear to me that I had to paint Baba.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
so
later
the
on,
paintings began to...
yeah.
But it wasn't until...
But I wanted to say that... Oh, what do you want to say?
Well, I was going to say, it wasn't until until Baba had us move to this house here on the center, that I felt free to paint Baba. I felt myself to be in the atmosphere that enabled me to paint Baba.
Yes.
And you have felt that too.
Oh, as a matter of fact, the
Very
atmosphere
much.
encourages one to paint Baba. It's a little
Yes.
bit like the Renaissance. There's a waiting audience to see the next appearance of Baba in a painting or in a song. It's very exciting. It's culturally fertile here. For Baba, but only for Baba. I can't even get too much interest in doing anything that isn't about Baba. To make another human being the center of a story is actually giving more importance to an individual than any individual really deserves. But this goes into how to love and so forth. But I wanted to say that after we'd been here a year, Lyn had a show of the paintings of Baba at Chapel Hill, and it was called The Image of the God-Man. And then I think that Baba revealed to us through the correspondence at that time, one of Baba's reasons why he had me bring Lyn to India. That was all that I was to do. I mean, I didn't have any, I don't think there was any other work being done through me, but to be the contact. That he had a work for Lyn to do. In his universal work, and in the cable from Chapel Hill, he says...
From Baba, in Chapel Hill.
Yeah. That the image of the God-Man paintings will help enshrine the God-Man in the hearts of his lovers. Baba was not pleased with sculptures of him. Now, you know that. Remember Meher and how Baba regretted having to let them go through with a full-size bronze of him, and he sent a list of commandments that they posted at Meher pleading with people not to worship
the statue.
Not to worship the statue, and to understand that he comes in the lover who comes to Meher. It was really a suffering for Baba to let them go through with that.
I think that
project.
Baba felt that there is no danger in worshipping a painting. A painting being a two-dimensional object instead of a three-dimensional object is not as likely to be worshipped or mistaken as the deity. The painting, everyone recognizes the painting as the image of Baba, not the deification of Baba, the image of Baba as a human being. And the interesting thing is that Baba, while I was in his presence, which was a long time for those days, an hour and a half, Baba never once referred to himself as God or allowed himself to be referred to as God while I was in his presence. And when I referred to Baba as God, the one point at which I referred to Baba as God, Baba turned it around by saying to me, I am more human than you are. And this was very important because you cannot paint the face of God. The formless face of God cannot be painted. You can only paint the human image of God incarnated in a man. And this incarnation is 100% human. And that's why Baba emphasized to me personally, I am more human than you are. Because I can't paint anything but the humanity of Meher Baba. I cannot paint the divinity of Meher Baba. So while I was with Baba, there was absolutely no discussion of his divinity. The emphasis was entirely on his humanity and in his being the beautiful, wonderful, sweet, adorable human being that he was. And he wanted me to see that. He wanted me to see him as a human being, because you can only paint Baba as a human being.
The period that we saw Baba in is very interesting too. I don't know if you're filming now, but it's but it was in the recapitulation in Coda of his life, the old and new life combined, and. I mean, go into the kitchen and bring that painting, which I say is the darshan of Baba. It's exactly Baba. The one in the kitchen, please.
Hanging on the wall?
The one hanging in there with it has an unpainted linen background.
Oh, it's the one by the closet.
Yeah, the one that faces the sink. I think that it's in there because Baba said to me when I asked him, where am I? He said, you will find me in the breakfast dishes. And I always keep a wonderful painting of Baba behind me as I do the breakfast dishes. And,
is that the painting?
Yeah. Now,
yes.
Some of the paintings are Lyn's paintings of Baba. Here, some of them. Some of them are so luminous that I get shocked. I think there is somebody standing behind me. His eyes have been created by Baba for the work. There's no doubt about it. Your eyes were created to do this work. Because, you see, he is not only needing all the time more and more light, the help of electric light, but he must always use the light of the white canvas, too.
And it was very interesting that Baba had a bright light like this put on his face when they made a movie of Baba while I was present with him.
That he knew exactly what the luminosity would have to be.
Baba knew that how much light was needed for me to see his face clearly as a human face, with all of its expression and the lines in his face and everything. And I was close enough to Baba. I was about where this Baba painting is, and Baba was about where Phyllis is. This is how close I was to Baba, as close as Phyllis is to the painting. And so I could see Baba's face very clearly, and with the bright light on Baba's face, I had no trouble seeing him at all.
This is very, very identical, isn't it, Lyn, to Baba that we saw that day? Isn't this particular painting?
This looks very much like the way Baba looked when I was with him, when I sat right in front of him for a period of time while I had this bright light on Baba and just gazed into his face. It seemed like a long time that Baba gave me just to gaze at him.
I think the remarkable thing about the Baba that we met is how modern he looks. He's an elderly man, but he's very modern looking. Do you see what I see? There's nothing of a backwoods country type or anything.
That's why he makes such modern painting. Let me just show you an example of what I mean by modern painting, with Baba as the center. You can see in this painting a very abstract handling of space, but a very concrete and almost realistic impression of Baba's face in the center of the canvas. And it's been very interesting to me to see how Baba's face, almost, you could say, floating in the middle of the canvas, in the middle of the abstract color forms, makes the whole painting completely realistic. And I've been very interested in this aspect of painting Baba recently. Now let me show you another painting over this way. Again. Now, this painting was begun shortly after my return from the last darshan 2 years ago. As a matter of fact, I think this painting was started on the 10th of June, 1969, which was the last day of darshan. And I worked on this painting for about a year. It's one of my most colorful paintings. If you could swing the light over, you'd get more of the color over on this side. And it's full of flowers, and it's a very joyous painting.
Did Baba say anything to you in reference to these paintings?
Yes, I did get messages from Baba about my paintings, yes. Baba was very happy with my paintings. And I sent the painting to Baba, which is in Mandali Hall at Meherabad now. And Baba sent me a cable when I received that painting. Well, when he received the painting, telling me how deeply touched he had been by the painting. Here is one of Phyllis's paintings, if you can swing the light over here. It's a painting of Meher, very strong painting of Meher in the tomb with Mani. This is called The Funeral of Meher Baba. And I think it's one of the best paintings that Phyllis has done. Now I think I can take you into the studio and really talk about these paintings. If you could talk about it, there wouldn't be any use in painting. Paintings are done because there are no words to express the vision of Meher Baba. The painting speaks for itself. Baba's face, Baba's hands. Here is a painting of Phyllis's. Phyllis is very talented at arranging figures around Baba in space. And the expression of Baba that she gets in a very small area. This painting over here, can you follow me over there? This painting is called The King's Highway. It's a very royal painting. And we have the King's Highway, which passes right across the Meher Spiritual Center. And this is like a vision of Meher Baba coming down the King's Highway with the crown of Krishna on his head. Two of his women disciples, one up here, one down at his below
I began to paint these watercolors of Meherabad about a year before he dropped his body. It became very urgent to go to India and to sublimate this terrific desire to go to Baba, to see Baba. I began to do this series of watercolors. And the darshan, for me, is the most important sacrament in all that I know of Meherabad. And there's a painting that I did that Elizabeth has in the meeting hall, a large painting, a mural. Maybe you can get a photo of that. And that, no, it's down at the meeting hall. It's put in there. And that's a large darshan. And here is expressing this darshan. And also this one's interesting because of the relationship of the mandali to this darshan. This is also the funeral of Meherabad. And this is the planting of the tree in the center. These were flowers that were in the lagoon cabin over his birthday this year. Very beautiful. And can we swing? Yeah, we go swing this. Which way? We go this way. This is a large work of mine, done over 7 years. Now this is kind of. These paintings are of Baba's darshan and the miracle of the infusion of his love to his creatures. Now, this one is important. It's the last one that I've done, and it's about Baba to the young people. Baba is giving darshan here to a youth, and these boys and girls now are coming here to the Meher Center, and many of them aren't able to make the personal encounter with Baba. That's really the problem at this point with Baba having dropped his body more than 2 years ago. This I just painted. Now, in this darshan, the darshaneer is a ghost, and that's that feeling that when we come to Baba, we come empty, and then he is all color and life, and then this thing is transplanted from him to us, the seed of his love. This one is how, with a glass of water, he infused this love into Lyn. I saw this in India. The water that I shall give shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. And this is the darshan of a saint, because saints too came to Baba with the darshan, and an angel. And this, if you can get this in the film, Edward, this is a very fresh and interesting painting of Baba as a master in the Oriental tradition. These things are interesting too. Here is, can you see that in the film? That's Baba feeding a must, the sacrament of darshan at a higher spiritual level. Now this is the most interesting, and this is Baba being fed. You see the hand bringing a cup to Baba. You can see the suffering in Baba's face. It's quite extraordinary. Lyn and I both feel that Baba paints his own picture. And then this is also Myrtle Beach. And the cycle of the avatar, who has been described by the masters as appearing from out of the ocean, the form of God appearing from out of the infinite of the ocean. Favorite painting as a collector of Lyn's paintings. I don't want to see this one go out of the house. It's a perfect blending of his ability to paint. He's a master of painting, and of the character of Meher Baba, the master. This is the studio. There's a work in progress in here. Come on in.
This is a recent painting of Baba. I did this painting in 3 days. It was very spontaneous. And it makes me think of my initial meeting with Baba, the very moment when I came into his presence, Baba embraced me. Baba kissed me on both cheeks. And then Baba told me to take my glasses off. And I handed my glasses to Erich. And Baba took my face between both of his hands and held my face very close to his face. I would say about 6 inches away from his face. I was so close to Baba's face that really all I could see was just one eye, Baba's right eye. And, no, Baba's left eye. I was looking at his, I've got it reversed, thinking of my right. And the first words that Baba spoke directly to me were the words, "Can you see my face?" And this was while he was holding my face so close to his. And I answered in a very meek voice, "Not very well, Baba." But I do believe now, having produced over 200 paintings of Baba, that this was the moment, this moment when Baba held my face so close to his and I couldn't really see him at all because I was so close. This was the moment when Baba did show me his face as it really is. And he showed me that face through the veil of my own eyesight, not through the veil of my inability to see, but through the thin veil of my ability to see him in the gross world. And it is through this thin veil that I am able to paint Baba and to convey and express something of the reality of Meher Baba, the reality of his image. Those who see very clearly don't see Baba because Baba said, "I am not this body that you see." After he had asked me, "Can you see my face?" I sat there at Baba's feet and I was just stunned into happiness at that moment. And Baba addressed himself to the Mandali in the room, in Mandali Hall, and he said, "Lyn is very fortunate because he does not see so much of the illusion." In other words, the veil of illusion was thinner for me, so I was able to see more of Meher.
The 5th year, we're closing the 5th year of being here in Myrtle Beach and near the center. Probably, I thought that being in the center would in some way make me more spiritual. And I find that it's a personal experience. That's all that's happening. I feel more understanding all of the time about Baba's love. And I'm glad we're here. I think that the world outside the center is not just becoming overpopulated and cluttered up with unused chemicals and garbage. I think that it's also becoming very devoid of meaning. And being here in Baba's orbit, being here in the center, no matter how I might kick and feel that I'm the complaining type, that there is a growth of understanding. It's a funny thing. It feels like intellectual understanding, but it's about love. It's all about love. And I wanted to tell you that Meher Baba asked me, are you running out of film? Meher Baba asked me whether I would like to know why I got to see him so often. That was when I was there with Lyn, the second visit within 9 months. And I said, oh, yes, Baba, I'd like to know. And Baba said, it's because you want to understand me. So to understand Baba is to understand love.
The understanding of the heart.
The understanding of the heart, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Not the intellectual understanding.
And there is a lot of love around, a lot of it. And Baba is channeling that love.
We're not particularly conscious of loving Baba. We are conscious of living our lives in Baba. We're conscious of being at Baba's call, so to speak. It's a little bit, we're getting a little bit of a taste of what it was to be a resident Mandali, where you're at Meher Baba's call 24 hours a day.
You know what I wanted to say? When Edward and Irwin came over this afternoon, that I wished that I had been doing Baba harder. And you know how when you drop your body, Baba says, remember me? Well, start now to remember me so that when you drop your body, you will remember me. Many artists like, don't make that noise, many artists like Hakusai or Titian, these men lived to be about 100 years old. When it came to their parting breath, to their dying moment, they said, oh, if I only had another 10 years to paint. So your coming today makes me feel, although really I do think of Baba all the time, oh, I wish I had, before you got here, another 10 years to think about him. Can I give you that?
Here.
Take this.
Well, what is it to say? This is my workshop. This is where I am most with Baba, and where Baba is most with me. My happiest moments are spent in the studio, because this is where I'm in communion with the Master.
Lyn,
Yeah.
has Baba, did he mention anything about your living on the center? Be here? What did Baba tell you?
Well, some people think that we're here as uninvited guests, that we invited ourselves to come here. And I don't really know whether we invited ourselves to come here or whether Baba invited us. That's for someone else to decide. I think that Baba wants me to be here. I think Baba wants Phyllis to be here. I don't really know how I got here, and someone else can tell you how I got here. I don't know. Whether Baba invited me to come here, I just can't say. I just know that I'm here, and I'm trying to serve Baba as best I can, and Phyllis is trying to serve Baba as best she can.
This is a book of correspondence with Meher Baba. Some of the things are cables, and some are letters from the Mandali, which include messages that Baba has sent to us through Adi or Mani or Erich. The cable that I'll read is sent to us on moving into this house on the Meher Center. That was the 28th of December, 1966. Mm-hmm. My love is your light. Let it shine in your home as it shines in your heart. I send my love blessing to my fill-in, Mimi, Betsy, Leslie, and Chris Jonathan. Meher Baba. We also received an explanation of why Baba was very pleased that the house was called Shariar Gatehouse, because that was his father's name.
Read the one about the cable from Baba about the receiving of the painting. If you can find it.
All right. Here's one message. My love blessing to you and Phyllis for preview at Lavisco Gallery. I will be there viewing my reflection in your paintings. Meherabad, May 8, 1967. And the Chapel Hill message?
No.
Don't read that one?
No, you've already quoted
All
that.
right.
I wanted
All
to
right.
get to the...
All right. Which one?
What?
Oh, and you're having sent a painting to him.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought
Let's
you
see.
would have looked at it.
Here's a cable from Meherabad on receiving a painting that Lyn was asked to send him. Your beautiful painting has reached Meherabad and made me very happy. The expression of your love in the expression of my beauty has deeply touched me. I give my love to you, Phyllis and children, and to Elizabeth, Kitty, Ruth, Jane, and to all at Myrtle Beach Center. Meherabad. And Lyn's answer is here. You have given me the eye of a painter and the heart of an artist. My art is to serve you. Your pleasure is my joy, and I am proud to be called to participate in your mighty work.
These are all correspondences with Baba.
Now they begin to be correspondence with Meherabad. Baba called a family darshan in December 1964. When he came, probably to honor Meher's birthday. Baba's brother Adi Jr., his wife, his nephew Dada, and his niece Shireen were all at the darshan. Shireen was sitting on Baba's lap most of the time. Later on in the darshan, she sat at his feet drawing pictures. And it was very much a family scene. 2 other Western girls arrived for the darshan from Australia. And Baba asked about Lyn. He asked why Lyn hadn't come. And I told Baba that Lyn obeys, meaning that Baba had told us to come in May 1965. This was December 1964. And that Lyn insisted on coming at the specific time that Baba had designated in his cable. And Baba said, and you, Phyllis, don't you obey? And I didn't know what the answer was going to be. I thought it might be, am I my brother's keeper? But instead, the answer came from Baba himself through me, and it was, I do obey, but Baba does not. And Baba was tickled with his own answer. And I mused over it for a long time after returning from India, and then realized that it was the same as Christ who said, it is not you who have come to me, but I who have called you to me. Then Baba asked about Lyn's sight, saying, how are Lyn's eyes? And I told him that he could see a great deal, but that it wasn't very practical what he could see. Baba said, and this was in great compassion, a question that I too had in my mind. Baba said, can Lyn see my face? And I answered, it would be difficult, Baba, to explain how Lyn would see your face. And Baba said, tell Lyn to come to me. I want Lyn to come to me. Tell him I will show him my face as it really is. This I give to very few. And so Lyn had a specific order to come to Baba. It had nothing to do now with the original cable. He was told to come. I told Baba that it would be difficult for Lyn to come alone, thinking that he might have a dear one come with Lyn, someone who had been longing to see Baba for many years. And Baba said, "Is there any reason, Phyllis, why you can't come?" "Any reason, Phyllis, why you can't come?" And so I received the order then from Baba, which was, "I want Lyn to come to me, and I want you, Phyllis, to accompany him." And the next visit was for Lyn to plan.
Baba gave me this scarf to wear. He gave me some other gifts, which I will show you. And Baba told me to use them. I had been told that Baba wore this scarf when he visited the United States. I can say that Baba did show me his face as it really is. But it has taken me a long time to come to realize that Baba has shown me his face as it really is, because Baba did it in such a way that it would not be so overwhelming, so overpowering to me that I would not be able to continue to live in the world and to serve Baba. And so gradually I have come to understand within myself what Baba means by showing me his face as it really is. And more I feel that I see Baba's face within. And this alone enables me to go on with my work of painting Baba. This alone. If Baba had not called me to India, and if Baba had not shown me his face, I would not now be able to do the work that I am doing. Here is a recent painting of mine, done in the last 6 or 7 months, showing Baba in India embracing a little girl. When I met Baba, Baba embraced me and he held my face very close to his and looked deep into my eyes for quite a long time. And I felt that Baba was seeing all the way back to the very depths of myself and seeing himself for me through my own eyes. And in doing this, Baba enabled me to give us a picture, a photograph of him. He gave this picture to Phyllis, which she has put into her copy of God Speaks, which is a very well-used copy of the book. Baba had me take my glasses off before he embraced me and before he looked into my face. And Baba later said to the Mandali, "Lyn is very fortunate because he does not see so much of the illusion."
And then Baba said, "Soon the whole world will turn to Baba." And he asked about how his Western lovers felt that he had canceled the Western Sahabas for December 1966. And when we answered, "Anything Baba does is good," he asked it again. And this time we said, "Baba, you must see your Western lovers, because without seeing you, they build cathedrals in the imagination to you." And Baba said, "When the cathedrals fall, my work is done."
Baba said, "You are very fortunate that I canceled the Western Sahabas, because at that Sahabas you would not have been able to have such an intimate darshan as this. and that was a very intimate darshan.
Baba asked me, Phyllis, do you know why I've let you see me so often? And not knowing the answer, I said, no, Baba, I don't know. And Baba said, because you want to understand me. And having seen Baba twice, I know that it was important for me to see God in man, to see the God-man, to see the living Christ, because it was important to Baba.
Baba gave me this shawl, which is a Zoroastrian wedding shawl, given by the father of the bride to the bridegroom. And I didn't know what it was at the time that he gave it to me, but I found out the next day from one of his close disciples, a Parsi. And the disciples did say, when we came out of the darshan, it was a beautiful darshan, just like a wedding.
Baba told us in having he said, I am always with you. And we felt, both of us, that Baba reduced to the size of your thumb. We compared our feelings later, and each felt that we could pick up Baba at the close of the darshan and pick him up and put him in our pocket and take him along with us.
Yes. We both saw Baba very, very small as we left the room, as we stood in the doorway, and with Baba's last words, I am always with you.